another album next year or Christmas time or Halloween, whenever, those won't be in there. I think for that catalog, for people who kind of done, like when you seen like people like maybe like when The Dream or like Neo or some of them have sold their catalog earlier where they kind of on the other side of their career, yeah, that one may hit a little bit differently. But for somebody like Future, the skies are still the limit. Future still get on certain things. And while we talk about Future, we can tie this into Boston Richey. If you have not went and heard that Boston Richey project yet, please stop what you're doing and go listen to it. I promise you that he got Future in a different bag. Him and Future, that's one thing I can say I love about Future. Future know how to, like, Future gonna do him on his own projects, but when he get into it with the young boys and they really get to talking that crazy street talk, Future just, he fit in like a good pair of comfortable tennis shoes. Future gonna always just find that pocket and know how to slide in there without a doubt. It's not even up for debate. I can even tell you another one with him on ESTG, Shoot for Myself. Like, it's Future. When Future get that bag, and that's what I'm saying, you got to remember the label that Future owns is called Free Bang Gang. And I know for some people, you may just not understand how easy it is for Future to make great music. How easy it is for Future is Toxic Future, then it's Free Bang Gang Future. And that Free Bang Gang Future, he just proving to y'all that was another smooth money play for him. Cool, take that catalog. I'm still gonna put out more. You gotta still remember, this is the same person who put out like 4 mixtapes in 1 year. So for him to get rid of catalog, I kind of don't feel like it really don't matter to him, because this is somebody who can really create just at his own will. Y'all got to think about it. You got to remember, he put out Future and Hendrix literally a week apart. Somebody like that who can get rid of his catalog and grab about what they say, how much they say Future got, anywhere from 65 to 75 M's, bro, I promise you he don't care. And whatever y'all connection is to March Madness, I promise you for 65 to 75 M's, he ain't got no connection to them songs. He don't care about none of them. He'll make a new one. I promise you he will. Man, shout outs to Future for getting that bag. And real quick, while we just going down a little bit of memory lane, around that time when we talking about like some of older Future's catalog, Rich Homie Quan was coming up and he was making a name for himself, and a lot of people in Atlanta was comparing him to Future and saying he was a little bit more of the substance version of Future. But if you've seen an interview recently of Academics and Rich Homie Quan said he wanted to link up and do a joint with Kodak. And he really gave it a lot of praise. And the shout outs to all the rappers who giving Kodak Black his praise. I do feel like I know Kodak's antics online a little bit, throw people for a loop. So it's kind of hard to really get a grips on where you should fall on the fence with Kodak. But Kodak's material, Kodak's music, his raw talent, you can't beat it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because if you really pay attention to like the music, Diddy's son, what's the King Combs? Bro, he struggles to get some songs that people actually care about. But if you kind of play around on the TikTok and the Instagrams a lot, you see a lot of people use that Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And that's because Kodak carried it. You gotta think about it. Most time when you get a Kodak feature, you get a verse. You don't get a hook and a verse. Kodak knew he slid on that song so much, he was like, I'm gonna give you a hook and I'm gonna give you a verse. I'll be right back. And now because of Kodak Black song, where it's just like, it's a Kodak Black song with a bad feature from King Combs. And King Combs didn't do horrible, but we could have did without him. But I get the reason why. It's an easy clearance to something that Kodak can get in there to get a little easy, clear Diddy sample. And he murked it. He did his thing on that. But the news jump that's already starting to get some steam on the socials is The Walk. And I love the way Kodak did it. He put out 2 songs with kind of the same feel to them, but just to see which one gonna stick a little bit. And that kind of let me know how, like, Kodak is such a street nigga, but he still understands what's going on social media. So let me try to find a way to finesse and play that game where I could kind of be like, I'ma still talk that street shit, but I'ma try to find a little joint where these youngins can go do a TikTok dance to it. Because if you still under a rock and you really ain't engaged in the TikTok, what's the jump that they got on TikTok? Fuck 'em up, black. The jump where it's Kodak knows he may not play the social media games like everybody else do and make, but his voice, his presence is still very large on social media. So I'm not even gonna lie, I'm looking forward to hearing a Rich Homie and Kodak thing, especially if it can get somewhere soulful, because I do think that's the only thing Rich Homie is missing. Because one of the things I took away from that interview was Rich Homie kind of know his sound is still heavily influenced on the newer sound. So even if you listen to the new what is called what's that new Rich Homie joint? Is it called Rich Takers or is it called what? Give me what's the new Rich Homie? Risk Taker. And that's in, but if you actually listen to the song, it still sounds like, if you didn't know it was Rich Homie, it sounds like what's going on right now in modern day time. So it doesn't sound so far out of the loop. So I do give Rich Homie some credit that he kind of, his voice and his sound is still in pocket, right? So you can, I just think Kodak can take him into a darker place, because I think that's where Rich Homie kind of got lost. Of course, outside of all the legal stuff he had to do, why he said he couldn't put out music at the time, I still can hear he's not in touch with like the struggle as much as he was when he was. The difference between me and you and investments, and you can't judge her, like that was so like, and I think that's what was kind of getting him a buzz when people was comparing him to Future, but saying he had more substance in his music. I think if he do something with Kodak and they really do something like lock in and build something from scratch, I think that's where Kodak can actually take Rich Homie back. So that's one of those things that I seen on the internet bubbling up. I definitely hope it do come to fruition. I would love to see a Rich Homie and Kodak Black collab, even if they can give you like a little mini EP thing, because I think Kodak could just get Rich Homie right back in that pocket where Rich Homie can start to strive again. Because like I said, his sound and his voice is still missed, and it's still easy for him to fit back in. Like I said, go listen. If you haven't heard that new Kodak Black, that walk jump, I like the walk better than the slide. The slide was like, you may be able to play around with that one a little bit more on the TikTok before. My pleasurable is that I wanted to add to my gym playlist. I like the walk jump way better. Shout out to Kodak. And then, like I said, the Rich Homie jump was called Risk Takers. Check out that new Rich Homie. Check out the new Kodak Black. But real quick, main reason, and again, like I said, if you have not heard that Boston Richie jump, please go listen to it. I'm gonna almost sit here and say he don't have too many stops. And real quick, why, since I'm talking about him, let me tell you exactly how many number Boston Richie. And it's called Public Housing. So let me tell you, I Want You a Future. I Want You a Future wasn't the one that the blue eye, it was the Bullseye 2 was the one that really kind of stood out to me. The one with Future, the I Want You jump was cool, but it wasn't really. That Bullseye 2 is the one that went viral when everybody was, when Future was like, if I wasn't cool with Jay, I'd be arguing on B and still be arguing on C. Yeah, that one right there. Future was in his bag on that one, but that jump went crazy on there. The Certified Dripper 2, Moneybagg Yo did his thing on that one. What was another song on it? The Navy Seals, again, we talking about Kodak Black. Oh my God. Kodak slid on that jump. And Boston Richie, like, I really like him because I like his voice. I like the distinction where it's just not, and I like the young dudes who don't overdo the spinning and sliding in every song, where they kind of still talking about getting some money. Like, we can't sit here, you can't spin yourself to death where you going broke when you ain't getting no money. So I like that young boys who still rap about getting money. Motivate the people to do something outside of just spinning and like, come on, you stop spinning until you get dizzy. Motivate these people to get some money. You like, that's the only thing. That's why I think some of the rappers who stand out, like your Lil Babies and ESTGs and 42 Duggs, because don't get it twisted, they gonna have their little spin bars in there and that, but they still gonna get to the main point of the purpose of playing in the streets is to get some money. To get some money and ball till you fall. Like, that's the name of the game. It's not to sit here and be like, I'm about to keep spinning. But anyway, like I said, this Boston Richie jump, what is it? 17 songs on there. Oh, you keep dissing with him and Dirk. That song was fire. Oh, Miss Twerk something. Oh my God. He got some heat on here. He had some jump. He had at least, like, out of 17, I'm going to say I added at least like 8 songs off of here to my gym playlist. Like the standout jumps to me, the Navy SEAL jump featuring Kodak, Miss Twerk something, the Bullseye 2, Certified Dripper. What was the other one? Watch How I Move. Don't Get Me Started. What else was another jump? And to keep dissing jump. Like I said, it was probably like, out of the 17, it was at least a solid 8 jumps on there that I added to my gym playlist. Like I said, if you have not already heard the Boston Richie jump, please go listen to it. Go download it. Add some songs to your playlist, whatever the case may be. But the real reason why I made this video today was the return of Young Jeezy. Not Jeezy, not Mary Jeezy, but Jeezy the Snowman. Can't Ban the Snowman, 101 Trap or Die. Shout outs to ESTG for making Jeezy rap like Jeezy. And for a while, listen, I'm telling you, I'm a diehard Jeezy fan. Jeezy been putting out a lot of mediocre dad music. And I understand the growth, and I understand becoming older and maturing out of your ways, but you don't want to tarnish your legacy neither. And when I say that, you can just even tie that into like LeBron. the more LeBron play, and if he don't go back to the ship and win some more championships, he kind of he's making that Jordan conversation way out of range. Where you kind of just like, you torment your legacy, or you play this man, you didn't win no more chips. So every time LeBron lays some things up, he got to do his thing. Every time Jeezy got to put out some music, I get it, we want growth, but look at Jay-Z. That means if you got to pull back less and figure out how you can I only can do a features here and there where I'm really motivated to talk that talk, then do that. I think that's one thing I think Jeezy has done horribly that Gucci and Yo Gotti has done perfectly. Yo Gotti and Gucci both have learned how to allow the youngins to lead, let them come up with the hooks, let them catch the vibes, and I'm just gonna put my Joan on it. Now, what Gucci do a little bit better than Gotti, Gucci still know how to make hooks like the youngins. So he know how to really mix and mingle with the youngins more than even Gotti. But Gotti just knows shit. I'm gonna sign a bunch of the youngins. I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm not gonna try to stress myself out on making no more hits. I'm gonna just jump on there with them. Like look what Gotti did with Glorilla. That 99 Problems jump, people may not even get to Gotti verse because the girls is really into her, but it don't matter. Gotti's smart enough to be like, I can get my people to listen to it if I'm on it with her. And all the girls already eating it up. It's already a huge jump. So that's what I'm saying. I think that's one thing I can say Jeezy is lacking in. And a lot of the music, Jeezy probably, like my last favorite Jeezy album may have been Trap or Die 3. And that's, of course, that was the one that he had the lead single on there with Rest in Peace, The Bankroll Fresh. That was the last one that it was like, he had catchy hooks on there, some good trap jumps on there. But the rest of them after that was like, come on, Pops, go. Like he was giving us wedding vibes. He wasn't giving us trapper vibes. But this new one with him and ESTG got 21 jumps. I'm not even hold you before I get too far into the Jeezy and ESTG. That new ESTG project, an 8 out of a 10. He got 21 songs in there, probably 5 skips, and that was one of the ones he was like, maybe trying a little too hard to make everybody happy. Because like the Bryson Tiller, he didn't need that. Listen to what I'm telling you. ESTG made me honestly like a Machine Gun Kelly song. A Machine Gun Kelly song? I was like, all right, Machine Gun Kelly, you kind of talking crazy on here. Even Jack Harlow, because Jack Harlow was such a pop star. And they always, of course, try to put him in categories with rap. Jack Harlow ain't no rap. Like, he rap, but he don't be rapping. But this joint with him and ESTG, Jack Harlow was on there. He was talking tough. He was like, I'm with my gang. I'm with the real Kentucky movers and shakers. He had Jack on there talking tough. I like it. So that's when you got to give ESTG his credit for having his counterparts bring their A game. And that's when you know people respect your craftsmanship, or respect the way your fans respect you. And I'm sure that Jeezy heard the youngins sit here and say, oh, ESTG the new Jeezy. And which he is. He bring it out of him. When you listen to ESTG, again, what I was saying just a few minutes ago, you gotta love the rappers who, when they get on there and they get to talking that money talk, they get to talking that come up, but they still let you know, don't get it twisted because I'm shining, I won't get with you. I'm gonna get with you. I'm still gonna get my issue off, but I'm still gonna get to this bag. And that's what I love about ESTG. Some of the standouts, let me just get to some of the standouts. So like I said, he literally, to me, only got like 5 skips. So I added a lot of these songs to my gym playlist. The Have Mercy Joint, when he, like, the quality of a good intro to set the whole tone for a 21 song project. And you got to think about when I'm talking about the Jeezy joint, that's song number 21. So for you have to set the tone differently to get somebody to even want to stay all the way to 21. Because like I said, he did have a few skips, but the ones that hit, they hit so hard, you got to make it a 21. So you got to give somebody credit who could literally keep your ears from 1 to 21. Like I said, he came in with the Have Mercy joint. That was a must. The way he set the tone in there was excellent. Shooting Myself, of course, with Future. I like that jump. The Hell jump, I'm kind of on the fence with that. I did add it to my gym playlist because he put it out before I even knew he was coming out with an album, because I am an ESTG fan. So I was kind of like, but if we talk an album totality, the song was cool. I could do without of it. It's like Come Home was cool. I Can't Feel a Thing. I messed with that one hard. Of course, the backstage passes with Jack Harlow. That joint was tough. I didn't like the Both Arms joint. Bow Down and Say Grace, Blood, both of them jumps was fire. Is it Heaven for a Gangster? I was it was cool, but it wasn't. Love Is Blind, what do you say? Love is blind and so is my left eye. And fuck the ops. Oh, yeah, he went crazy on that Love is blind. The ended like them last 3 bars. He went crazy on that joint. Love is blind. X probably is my favorite song on it. That's number 12. By far, probably my favorite song on that whole project. Get 'em G-Ski, it was cool. I told you I don't like the Bryson Tiller joint. I like the double back joint. Won't Let It Kill Me. Death Around the Corner with Machine Gun Kelly. I like that one a lot. Again, I haven't listened to a Machine Gun Kelly song since I'm a Wild Boy. I'm a Wild Boy. So I gotta give ESTG some credit for that. Voice in My Head. That one was kind of deep, and I appreciate ESTG. Like, he was paying homage to his cousin who committed suicide, and he was just even talking like he was talking to himself, like saying how his cousin had more strength from taking his own, you know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't do it. Like, he thought about it, but he never could do it. So he was kind of giving his cousin some, like, showing his cousin some love. I like that one. Forever, I can't really remember. I don't think I played that one too many times. So when I got to the Jeezy jump, I went back and forth with that one, and that's the last song on there. Like I said, again, shout outs to ESTG for having a 21 song project, and he just coming off of and this is a beat, and it's nominated for a BET Best Collabo. ESTG and 42 Dugg put out a project, and that was a solid project. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the best project from either one of them, but for them to just like, I just like they working the way the CMG camp, especially those two in that CMG camp, they working like the live mixtape era, the Dat Piff era. They just putting out music where their audience can't get bored, and they just like you building up momentum to make your audience be like, nah, this the best street nigga out here. This the youngest nigga doing it. Like, they building up that momentum. So they put out that collabo project, and then CMG as a whole label put out a group compilation in which realistically 42 Dugg and ESTG still carried the majority of that project as well. Like, the best songs on there, realistically both of them on there or one of them on there. ESTG probably got the joint with Paparazzi with him and Yo Gotti, like, yeah, and what's the January 1st? Oh my God, let me tell you something. No shade to Mozzie, but his style of rapping just don't fit with the South. It's just not one of them joints. Like, if we was talking about, like, to me, and this not me trying to be messy or nothing, the perfect rapper for that CMG thing, if we was just going West Coast, probably realistically would have been Filthy Rich, because Filthy Rich kind of, for me, he sounds just like Ice with Vezo, and Ice with Vezo and 42 and Ice with Vezo and ESTG make great music together. So it's just like certain voices just fit that Mozzie pocket just don't hit for me with the CMG thing. But again, man, shout outs to ESTG. This was one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video, because I wanted to give ESTG credit for putting out a great body of work, and also Boston Richie. Those were some of the projects that I've really been sitting with. And of course, just like on some honorable mention types, the Jid project was straight. It may be not too much for me, because it was just like, he be rapping, but it's like, and I don't want to say he don't be saying nothing, because he be saying stuff, but it's just like, it's hard to explain. But it was cool. It's just not really my get down for real. Like, I can respect that he can rap. And even the Simba John, I listened to it. I maybe had to, honestly, I got to try to listen to Simba again, because I really was into the ESTG so hard. So I don't think I gave Simba an honest ear. So I don't have a real honest review on Simba right now. But like I said, again, matter of fact, and before I go, please, for all the rappers who feel like you got to move to LA or New York, I'm on the fence with Atlanta. I don't want to put Atlanta in that box. If you can go to Atlanta and just work and not try to do the club thing. But just my main thing is the LA and New York thing. Networking, one, is overrated. And the reason why I'm going to say that right now before I end this video, perfect example is NBA YoungBoy. I think I've seen a stat that said NBA YoungBoy put out 86 songs this year alone. In 2022, 86 songs. You on YouTube right now, go search NBA YoungBoy. 95.6 of those songs got 1 million+ views on them. And he ain't networking with nobody. Okay, I'm lying. He did a joint project with Birdman. Birdman probably said like literally 16 words on the whole project, so that kind of don't count. And he did a joint with DaBaby. Cool, but guess what? He didn't have to go nowhere. Watch the interview of DaBaby. I think he did on Hot 97 when he was talking about, he didn't do nothing but email them songs. They was emailing them songs. They was doing videos, and they was never in the same place. You don't have to move to LA. And the reason what bring, of course, rest in peace to PNB Rock, but fucking T Grizzly just got his house broken in. Real quick, T Grizzly, that fucking robbery fool. T Grizzly may be one of the best young storytellers out, period. I don't necessarily know if the word is the power of the tongue. I don't want to put those two and two together, because I don't want him to stop making that. That level of storytelling on that goddamn Robbery 4. Shout outs to T Grizzly. But I would just want to tell y'all, you don't have to go to LA. Let's just think about all the most popular songs out right now. Because people be like, oh, you got a network. They don't come from popular producers. Glorilla got one of the biggest songs out right now, and that is nominated for a BET Song of the Year. That's from a Memphis producer. She lived in Memphis. When she made that song, that video was made in Memphis. The producer is from Memphis. This thing got nothing to do with LA. What's it? You think I was feeling you? Nigga, yo, Munch. They from New York. That's a new, like, I'm sure she 9 out of 10, she probably found that beat on YouTube. That's my point, what I'm telling you. You don't have to, what's the other little dude who think, I can't be gay because my girlfriend, or whatever that little song is, he ain't from LA. Like, that's what all I'm saying is, let's be real, and this is no shade to LA. LA don't even have a bunch of big rappers right now, so why am I going to the network? Like, I don't, especially if you're a young rapper, no disrespect to Hit Boy, but I'm not going to LA to link with him for what? Like, he do a lot of projects with a lot of, like, cool rappers, but like he do shit with Nas and Big Sean, but I'm not risking my life to go to LA to sit up and try to get a beat from him. Like, that's not, hell no. Cause that ain't what's even moving the culture right now. I just told you, like, Kodak Black is going crazy right there in Florida. Nato Wick is in Florida. Like, you just think about, you can sit here and literally take your time out and say, what's the last most 10 popular songs you like right now? Popular artists right now, the hottest out, the most popular right now, the ones who get the most traction on social media. 9 times out of 10, it's just some random kid from somewhere else. It's not a whole, let me go run here and go there. Like I said, that's what I said. I kind of can't say Atlanta because Atlanta still got that pocket. But just even remember, for people who really hip the Future, when Future was dating Sierra and he said, I had to move from LA because I was losing myself. That's when I was feeling like I wasn't making some of the best of my music because I just didn't still have my home swag. I really wasn't outside bumping around. Of course, with like Young Scooter and Casino, he wasn't moving around with his people. He really wasn't feeling like Future. You can lose yourself, and I think a lot of rappers, you get confused because you sit here and see, oh, let me move to LA because Jay-Z and Beyonce did. Jay-Z and Beyonce can afford to have 24-hour security at their house, moving around with them, period. It's just like, they can move around with Fort Knox like the president. It's Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kevin Hart, LeBron James, these people who can literally afford to move around with 24-hour security, can have people, literally security guards, sleeping in their houses. You can't compare yourself, and I think that's where people get blinded. You get confused with A-list celebrities moving to California like Kanye and Drake and the Kardashians and all these other people. They can afford to do it because they can afford to move with 24-hour security and they be having security at their house. But you talking about the risk for young rappers who really can't afford security like that and don't even need to be there? Bro, you can move to Arizona. Again, like I said, NBA YoungBoy is making some of the best music of his career in Utah. And I know people gonna say, oh, well, he just got a different fan base. Yeah, he got a different fan base because he understands his fan base. He understands how to keep feeding them, where y'all living in delusional trying to network with people you don't even need to network with. Them ain't even the people who coming out with the hottest beats, not for your genre of people. The people who linking up with Hit Boy and stuff like that, ain't nothing happening to them because nobody don't care about Big Sean. Nobody ain't trying to pull a move on Nas, but y'all gotta know that ain't who you is. It's, again, just think about it. All I'm gonna keep saying is, perfect example, NBA YoungBoy is stuck in Utah. He done put out 86 songs this year. The biggest streaming artist outside of Drake, and on some weeks and certain months, he might even beat out Drake. So that's all I'm telling you. If he can do that from Utah, y'all don't have no excuse why everybody gotta feel like I gotta keep running to LA or I gotta do to New York. Man, you got Wi-Fi. You can do whatever you want to do with your Wi-Fi from anywhere in America. And last thing to make it make sense. Bro, it's 30 teams. What is it, 32 teams in the NBA? Only 2 of them in LA. Why y'all niggas feel like, oh, matter of fact, it's 4 California teams. The Golden State Warriors, Sacramento Kings, the Lakers, and the Clippers. What's the rest of the 28 or 29? My math might be off a little bit. They ain't there. They in other cities. You think these multi-millionaires, if they can live in these other cities, rap niggas don't make no basketball money or no football money, baseball, hockey. There's teams in every city. So that means they're millionaires that live in other cities all year long. Think about how many games baseball players play. Think about how many games basketball players. It's somebody who play in Denver. Football, basketball, and baseball. What are you talking about? Just do your Google. Stop running to LA. Just think about that for a second. Think about how many major sports teams it is in the United States. So guess what that means? There's other millionaires that live in those cities. You ain't gotta run to these places. But again, y'all enjoy y'all day. I'm gonna promise you I'm gonna stay way more consistent with these videos. I apologize for the delay. We here.